How do you survive the holidays with family who have different values or different priorities than you do as an intuitive empath? Hi, my name is Leah Chantel. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm talking about how we can do better with our priorities as intuitive empaths and stay true to ourselves during a season when a lot of us will feel tempted to succumb to the expectations of others. So when you're at the holiday party, maybe you're not so keen to get drunk and talk nonsense or sing holiday carols till you drop and throw up. Maybe you just want to stay sober and go to bed a little bit earlier. Or maybe you don't want to eat all the Cinnabons and chocolate cake and stuff that other people are eating. Maybe you have different priorities in terms of your diet and you really just want some more fresh fruits and vegetables to protect your immune system during this time. Or maybe you do want a bit of chocolate cake and you don't want to be judged for taking it. Or maybe you're feeling pressured to engage in a conversation that's just negative or not right for you. What do you do? How do you set boundaries during this season when you're going to feel tempted to go along with the crowd? Well, it's easier than you might think. So my workplaces have decided to do holiday lunches this year, which I really appreciate because it doesn't encourage people to get drunk. Sometimes the planning and the time and the place of something can make such a big difference when you're planning your holidays. So if you're in charge of the get together and you don't want there to be a lot of drinking, maybe it's better to plan it during the daytime rather than at nighttime. That can make a huge difference as to how people choose to show up and behave and how long they stay. Now, if you don't have control over the situation, let's say you're going to another party that's in the evening, then maybe you want to try to wrap it up earlier in the evening when you can. You don't have to be a designated driver just because you don't want to drink. Maybe what you want to do instead is have a separate way to get home from other people you're going to the party with and make sure that they can get home safely and you can go home when you feel more comfortable, when you feel you've had enough. And the biggest theme here is self-care. Don't be afraid to say, I've had a really good time and now I need to go home. And to protect your quiet time and your self-care, because that's what's going to keep you healthy and happy as a person and helps you show up as your best when you do go to these holiday parties. You don't want to get too involved in the undertow of bad behavior, which can show up during the holiday season. It can be a season of excess. People can goof off and do things that they regret at this time of year. And that can even include family events, not just workplace events. So you want to make sure you've thought in advance your safe transportation home and that you have something to do or someplace to go if things get kind of out of control. If you really can't go for some reason when you're at a get-together, then maybe what you need to do instead is go out for a walk when people are behaving badly at a party. That could be a time for you to relax and settle down. I've even done it as a teenager where I've just seen other teenagers behave badly somewhere and I just decided to go out for a walk with my friend and then we came back and then funnily enough the teenagers were actually acting worse that time when we got back. But at least that gave us a chance to kind of laugh and have fun together and stay out of trouble. And then we ended up going home after when we got back. You want to have a lot of strategies like that in your back pocket to keep yourself out of trouble during this holiday season and keep you on track with your goals and ambitions and your lifestyle. Because doing things like eating right and not drinking into excess will give you energy to keep going towards your goals, dreams, and ambitions that you've prioritized in your spare time. The more we kind of engage in things that waste a lot of energy or a lot of time, the less time we have for the things that really matter to us in life. And other people may not understand or appreciate that. Maybe they think, oh, what's the point of having a spiritual hobby if it doesn't make money? Or what's the point in showing up this way when it's not very fun, and they just don't get us. When we're in that place, it's better to try not to explain too much about why you're doing what you need to do, but really just to go ahead and do what you need to do. And interestingly enough, that will actually gain more respect from other people when you're being true to yourself and assertively saying what you need, rather than just going along with the flow and doing what everybody else does. Fitting in isn't everything. And sometimes if we try too hard to fit in, we actually end up turning into a doormat. And so it's better to have our own lives and our own priorities that we're working towards, and to stick with those when things get a little bit tricky. I also recommend during the holiday season that maybe certain people that you do need to visit that you can't leave out of your life, but you don't find very pleasant or very easy to deal with, you may decide that you want to talk to them over the phone rather than see them in person, or talk to them over Zoom. Or it could be that they just live really far away. Sometimes we have really good friends that we'd really love to connect with and see, but we can't physically see them. And so maybe it's time to schedule a Zoom call. Maybe it's time to catch up and see what's going on in their lives. That can be really valuable, and we can do those things instead of getting wasted or doing things that waste our time during the holidays or cause us to gain weight. We want to think strategically, and I'm not saying you can't have any fun or any cake or any junk food at all. I mean, if there's something really lovely that you want to try, then you can try a few bites and enjoy it and have a good time and participate. But you just want to think strategically, because the following month in January, that's when everybody makes their New Year's resolutions and tries to lose weight because they feel bad about what they've done over the Christmas season. And that's when the gyms can get really busy. And even if you're a regular gym goer, it can be a real pain in the neck going to the gym in January because so many more people are there trying to fill their New Year's resolutions. So instead of going along with the crowd, you may just want to think in advance about your strategy of how you want to work out in the new year. How do you want to stay healthy? Maybe you don't want to participate in eating so much junk food at Christmas, because then you won't feel as desperate to go to the gym and run into everybody else and then potentially catch COVID, right? Maybe instead you want to plan in January to do more working out at home or close to home, rather than going out to the gym when everybody else is trying to get in there and use it at the same time. Or maybe you want to plan your gym visits early in the morning or at a specific time of day when it's low volume if you can, in order to get that experience in, rather than try to do it around rush hour when everybody else is trying to go to the gym. That's actually my favorite time to work out if I can, is I really like the evening or the later kind of like 7 to 8 o'clock time period. I really like working out then. But having said that, I also realize that that's probably the highest traffic time to do it. And so I'll plan it accordingly. If things aren't going to work out in terms of going to the gym, then I'll try working out at a local pool, or maybe just in my apartment, or do something that's quieter, that's less high traffic, and then things will turn out better. That's the most valuable time, in my opinion, to do a home workout routine, is when you know the gym is going to be crazy busy. You just wait until later when everybody's gone, and then you can go back and enjoy the gym more. That's been a big challenge for me since the pandemic ended. It's just that everybody went crazy and started joining the gym all of a sudden. It had been so quiet and so nice prior to that, and I'd been really enjoying it, and then all of a sudden it was just like a totally different experience. I was close to quitting that time. But I decided instead to just be strategic and go later when it's a low volume time and do more of my workouts from home. And that's been working out really nicely for me, and it's been very convenient. So I hope you enjoyed my holiday summary guide. It basically just says take care of your health and prioritize yourself before you jump into the crowd or whatever your coworkers or your friends and family are doing at Christmas time. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that you have to do it too. And if you are going to parties and spending a lot of time with your family and friends, that's great, but you want to make sure you're carving out times for your goals, dreams, and ambitions, that you're getting your content finished if you're on social media, or that you've planned strategically to finish things when you have time, and don't try to pressure yourself into finishing things when you have a lot of other social events going on, because if that's competing with time with your friends and family are not going to like your goals, dreams, and ambitions too much, because they're going to see it as competing with time with them, right? So you want to make sure those things are handled up front in advance, so then when you do have time to spend with your friends and family, you're spending quality time with them. So if you have any questions about surviving the holidays or any more tips and tricks that you'd like to share, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd be really curious to see how people are handling the holidays this year. And there are more parties and more social engagements than ever, so it's pretty hectic, but I'd be curious to see what everybody else is planning to do. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more content on this from me. I hope you're all having an amazing week, and take care. Bye now.